It's February 2nd, and you've tuned into the People's Patriot Project WeP3 Weekly Debrief. Right now, you're listening to WeP3 Radio, proudly produced in partnership with Reads Across America Radio. Together, we share a mission, remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach future generations the value of freedom. A freedom bought and paid for and secured by the brave men and women who have worn our communities and nationals uniform. Stay tuned for the WeP3 Weekly Debrief. Currently playing on WeP3 Radio, Kimberly Meyer, Dark Side of the Room.
Thank you for joining in today with Andrea Eichmann and Mark Peterson of the People's Patriot Project for this week's WeP3 Debrief. Find out what our crew has been working on to help support those who have given some and all to the pursuit of liberty and freedoms across Minnesota and the United States. Watch, listen, and support as we create the beacon of hope and opportunity in today's society that needs its heroes. Are you a veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to be the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always clean. We want to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to the WeP3 Debrief. Here's Andrea and Mark letting you know the mission. And as always, Patriot Pride.
I got it. It's here. We're here. We're there.
I was going to take a little nap.
Were you going to take a little nap skis?
It's been one of those go days.
Has it? What's keeping you busy, brother? What's keeping you busy, man?
Well, that's always such a good sight when we open the show on a debrief and see old Glory flapping in the wind.
It is, man. Yeah, I think it's important that we acknowledge and recognize that
I think
flag
you guys
represents.
did a great job at picking the visualization.
Silly people. What have you been up to, buddy?
Well, today started out my beautiful bride, the house commander, overslept, so she was bouncing off the walls trying to get out of here. And normally I'll get up after her and I'll take the one dog, the spoiled dog, outside, and then I'll come back in and get the other 3 and take them out. But once the other dogs heard her knocking around and bouncing around off the walls trying to hurry, they all started barking. So that plan went to hell in a handbasket. And then we found another visitor downstairs in the basement, and the dogs couldn't stay away. And it was, I was planning on going to the gym this morning, but holding 2 80 and 90 pound labs off of trying to get a dead mouse off a glue trap is an exercise enough.
I don't get why you're dealing with this thing right now in life. That critter coming in the house time should be over with.
No, they come in every winter. Last year,
we're like 2 months. Winter's almost over. You know that, right?
Not here. We got another snowstorm coming this weekend.
That's not how it works.
That little ground rat said we got 6 more weeks.
Yeah, well, it's winter's 3 months long, and it doesn't start in flipping February.
Our starts, heck, we don't even get.
Oh my gosh, Frank, you're going to make me data check you here?
Yeah, you can. I don't remember us getting snow.
Does winter start in the USA?
Well, they got an official start
December
date.
21st.
Yeah.
It gets colder before that, like October.
That's where you live.
Oh my gosh. Nonsense.
We're still. I ran a half marathon in October, and it was only 50 degrees.
Was it in the community you live in, or did you go?
It was actually farther north.
It was.
Yeah.
All right.
It was not that far. I mean, if you drew a straight line, it'd probably be 5 or 10 miles north of where I am, but it was 45-minute drive away.
Sure.
But it surprised me that we don't, because we're called a mountain state, but I guess the Eastern Panhandle, half of it doesn't count.
Did you just say you're a Western mountain state?
No, West Virginia is the mountain state.
Oh, West Virginia is the mountain state. Okay.
But the Eastern Panhandle, we don't have many things bigger.
What would you call like a state that's on the Rocky Mountains? Would that be a mountain? Those don't get to be mountain states?
Yeah. That's the name for it, and the West Virginia University team is the Mountaineers.
I get that. I get that.
Well, the reason behind it is there isn't really any flat land in the state. The state is more than 80% mountains. There's no other state that has that big a percentage, according to the press here.
I'm doing,
and even the Eastern Panhandle, half of it is mountains, but the half I'm in, we don't have anything I'd consider to be called a mountain.
What's the highest mountain in West Virginia? Do you know? I'm testing you.
It's called the highest mountain in West Virginia.
That is not what it's called, Frank. It's not at all.
Well, no.
It's a lie.
I know the deepest gorge in West Virginia, but
is that your ex-wife? Is that?
Thank God she's not in West Virginia. You
always say ex-wife jokes. I'm sorry, that was off.
Yeah, well, they always they have a day where they close this road off, and these yahoos get up there and jump off the gorge bridge with parachutes.
Let me share some information with you, Frank. And this tells me how illustriously mountainous West Virginia is.
Yeah, well, it's nowhere near the size of the mountains in the West.
Because the highest point in West Virginia is called Spruce Knob.
Well, only here.
Spruce Knob is the highest point in West Virginia. It is at 4,800 feet.
Yeah, it's nothing compared to the ones out west.
Well, I'm just teasing you a little bit. The highest point in Wyoming is Gannett Peak, which is 13,810 feet.
Yeah, but that's the only one.
That's the only one? No. There's a whole row right together along the Tetons.
The who?
The Tetons.
Oh, Tetons.
What'd you think I said?
Tetons. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. You know what that means in French?
I have no idea.
It's.
You should tell me offline, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's chesticles. Chesticles is, but not chesticles. All right. We would be remiss. Miss Eichmann's not with us today because she's taking care of some family stuff, and we are nothing. I mean, you can't say it's not major, but it's a thing, and we just wish Mr. Larry Nobles, a speedy recovery from today's events, and we hope you find your health quickly, brother.
Yep.
It is. It's important for her to be where she's at and what she's doing and how she's doing it with the ones that are closest to her. So, but outside of that, we're here mainly because we do 2 shows a week. And the first show is on Sunday nights. Sunday nights is about another organization that's boots on the ground and a musician. Oh, this week's musician was phenomenal. But then we come back on Mondays, the WeP3 team and all. Which one of those
Who
are you?
all those other characters?
Well, Bassie and the Bison.
I know that one.
Oh my gosh, I've lost my brains.
I like the guy in the fake tuxedo shirt.
Yeah, that's the Badger, and I don't have I haven't versed this enough, Frank. Sorry, I apologize. I do know that
I like Smokey too.
Our mountain lion. What's that?
Smokey Bear.
No bears on there.
Well, what's that behind the eagle?
That's a wolf.
The wolf is big as a bison.
That's Leslie. Leslie the wolf.
Well,
you know what? I'm not in charge of all the design of this, and I do know that it was put in there as be proportionate per the animal's size.
Yeah, I like the Hawaiian shirt on the eagle too.
I know, right? I know, and I can't remember for the life of me what.
I like that.
I got posters here someplace. I don't know. I got a lot of these notes on the. It's written down someplace.
We should make posters.
We should. Which one do you think you represent the most of the WeP3 team? The Badger, the Bison, the Eagle, the Wolf, or the Mountain Lion? You shouldn't be the Mountain Lion because that's Phoenix, the Mountain Lion. She's a female.
She's got a little head.
Should we put it in there?
I'll take the bear.
What's up? There's no bear, Frank.
Well, you call it a wolf, I'll call it a bear.
Oh my gosh. we had someone that was on the team that wanted us to have a polar bear, and I'm like, well, I don't know that a polar bear fits into Americana lore. And they're like, yeah, up in Alaska. And I gonna have to fact. I don't know. Are there polar bears in Alaska?
Oh yeah,
Are there?
yes. The Alaskan natives are allowed to hunt.
Yes, polar bears are in Alaska. I actually did know that. I did know that. So does that mean that polar bears are native to America?
Yes, if Alaska's part of America still, and our friend across the 90-mile divide hadn't come over yet.
Yes, polar bears are. I had to just ask the real question.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
Like, talk about some awesome animal. Ooh, golly.
I hear those are some bad dudes that they like will stalk your tail.
Yeah, there's no playing around with polar bears. They look, everybody here thinks they're nice and cuddly, but man,
Do you want to know a real life true story?
is it about elephants?
Nope, it's about a polar bear. I do have an experience with I don't have an experience. My sister has an experience with a polar bear, but I witnessed it.
Really?
Yeah. This might be close to 50 years ago.
And when you were a little tyke.
Tiny peoples. We were tiny peoples. And the Barnum and Bailey Circus came to Billings, Montana. And they had a whole line of these cages lined up with polar bears in them. And this was weird back in the day. Because I remember when I was a little kid, my grandma took me to a circus under a big top tent, and there are elephants in there, and you could walk up and you could touch them and stuff like that. And I suppose they kind of do that now. But that's the first time they taught me you could take the peanuts. It's an elephant story. I turned into an elephant story. And you put the peanuts in their two nostrils. They put their trunk up, and you put the one peanut at each nostril, and then they curl it back up, and they eat those two peanuts.
Yep.
That's a very small snack for an elephant. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of value to that. Anyway, back to the polar bear. Barnum and Bailey Circus, we're outside. All the cages were lined up, and we look over, and my sister had gone underneath the ropes.
Oh.
And was right up next to the cages with her hand in the actual cage. And I guess I would call them trainers, turn and look, and they are like mad dashing. That's a true story. 100%.
Yeah, if that polar bear would have been more aware, he would have took your sister's hand off.
Well, I can only imagine.
Right. Well,
What kind of trauma would that be? I mean, he would have just yanked her right through those bars, man.
yeah.
That would be a crazy story. Here 50 years later, I'm talking to Frank on a Monday afternoon about WeP3. I bet you I would be a mad polar bear hunter up in Alaska right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. We probably should get on with what we're supposed to be doing. So I said earlier why we come here on Mondays. There's first of all, a whole slew of people we need to thank for being here. We got Derek Iozio and the peer support group. Amazing work that they do. We've got the Krutzinger family down in Texas who does Operation Texas Strong. They gift RVs to families. We got Luke Porter with Moving Tree Media. We've got Brian Kenzer with Smart Living, and we've got the amazing crew. These guys, Business Growth Engine. you guys will not believe the stuff that we're getting done with those guys and what's going to be in the near future. It's absolutely outstanding, amazing, crazy, fun, life changing. And I hate that we gotta preface it like it's coming. I don't have the bandwidth of knowledge to actually express the tools that they are creating for us. It is that huge and big. Graphene Dome is a part of it. All those things are in it, and it's amazing. Oh, and we got someone. You can't spill the beans yet, Eichmann. You're not. Get off the show if you're not. We're not even there yet. That's Frank's job. Come on. We just talked about you. We said nice things. So ultimately, we get to come here and do this because we know why we get to do this. It's because of the men and women who have sacrificed all the pieces to allow us the freedoms to run our mouths freely. And that is a piece that is being exercised more and more and more. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I'm like in favor of it all the time, but we've got men and women who have lost sweat, blood, tears, limbs, life, so that we have the freedoms that we're not. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to argue that we need more and that there should be more. And I'm not going to say that they're wrong, but at the same time, they didn't necessarily put it on the line to get where they got at the same time. So it is what it is. Last night, we had Mr. John Kelly from Beyond the Job and Holistic First Responders on. It was an amazing, endearing. We titled the show F ampersand asterisk exclamation point awareness, because we came to the acknowledgement and the recognition that we've talked about this on our show 100 times. The awareness piece is over with. We know we have men and women dying daily because of PTSD, because of other things actually in their lives. Mr. Kelly is a first responder, and he was in the world of MMA fighting for a minute. He was a firefighter for a minute. He went out and did all the things to make sure. And then he learned that there were bigger pieces to life. There are, if you go and you expend energy and you are in amongst the carcinogens, there are some exercises and there's some breathing and there's some things that you need to do. And he went through all the pieces through a trial and error study where he could find help for this. He got to the point where he found a source of a lot of issues, physical and mental. There need to be a recalibration. We talk about recalibrating with veterans and first responders constantly. And we're talking about over an era of service, and Mr. Kelly says that this should be happening after episodes of service, which it's great, and we need to find a way to educate. We did come to the point of saying, hey, it needs to be a redirection of leadership, and people need to take this serious. We have talked constantly and religiously. These are young men and women that think they know everything. And I know the last thing they want to do is sit through another briefing or sit through another training or sit through and get all this mushy stuff out. I get that. I was there too. I don't want to do that, especially with people that have not bought into it and are like religiously engaged in the process. And that is the leadership of a veterans and first responders. I mean, they're trained to put fires out. They're not necessarily trained to talk you through your emotional needs at the moment. And so, but that, I think that's where we need to invest a little bit of money, a little bit of resources, and have people available that are skilled in those areas to accommodate. You know, some of the pieces we were talking about, you know, there's roughly, I'm going to miss the actual numbers. I think I said 47 million first responders in our country, and they're servicing over 600 million calls a year. And I can look that data up here in a minute, but it's asinine. First responders, like one of the quotes that Mr. Kelly had last night is, a regular person will see a certain amount of traumatic events in their life where the veterans and first responders, people that have served, that number is like eclipsed by 10 times. And so, yes, we run into this conversation a lot. A lot of people say, well, they knew what they're getting into. No, I'm sorry. When you're 17 and 18 years old signing up for the military, you have no idea you're signing up for military cold or military hot or sand in your MRE because the helicopters do their flybys, and that you're going to be digging foxholes at night when it's 32 below zero in the desert during the night, and then 110 during the day. You don't take any of those pieces into account. So that was our brother, amazing John Kelly, coming on. We're going to have him come back in. He had to get going last night, but his website, or his website, holisticfirstresponder.com, is up on our page and is ready to rock and roll. I saw that you clicked into the sheet there, Frank.
A what?
You clicked into the sheet. I seen that.
Do you want me to do the musician now?
Well, that's the next piece, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes we expound a little bit about.
Well, expound then. Do something, Frank. Do something.
Well, I can't dance and I can't sing, so I better start telling you about the music person.
All right.
Our musician this go around, and I didn't know he was from Florida, but Jeremy W. McKern. He comes from a long line of military service, and he decided that he would become a sailor in the Navy, just like his father, I believe he said. And he did some time in the Navy. Well, that doesn't sound right. It sounds like he was in jail. I like the Navy. My dad was in the Navy. And then he got released for good behavior from the Navy and joined the reserves. And because he felt like he hadn't finished his time in service, so he wanted to finish it out by going in the reserves. And throughout his service, he, like everybody else, there was some bumps in the road and had some things happen. Have stuff with family and friends and yourself. And then he finally figured out that he needed to go and see someone, and he was diagnosed with PTSD. And one of the things that they do, it's a part of mindfulness training. And I had to do this too when I took the challenge I did. He had to do journaling. So whenever he had something that he wanted to express, he would write it in a journal. And eventually, he decided to pick up a guitar that he had played at one point in time. And he found that songs were in his journaling. So he went back and he went through his journal and he found a way to write songs from what he had written down as part of his PTSD treatment. And he had 3 songs. They were all good, in my humble opinion, and I enjoyed them all. And the first one was called "Hard to See Stars," and this was a pretty touching song. It was dedicated to his dad, who had served in Vietnam, and his grandfather, who had served in World War II, and all those who served and came back to seeing their friends and family and family members and others that they knew take their lives. And it's a look into how dark the world can seem when you come back and your service is done. And a lot of folks deal with that, and some of them lose the fight with their demons. And that's one of the reasons why we do this, is try to help everybody. But it's a really good song, and a lot of veterans will be able to relate to that. And song number 2 was called "We Don't Know Them All," and again, it was tied to his service, and it was. I like that song. I like that song a lot, and it was. I think out of the 3, it was probably my favorite song. And then the last one was one of those songs that everybody just wants to join in on. And I enjoyed it as well. It's called "Honky Tonk Bound." And he says that Sturgill Simpson song inspired this for Jeremy. And it's just loaded with country music cliches, and it's a really fun song to listen to. And if you haven't listened to it, you need to find it on Spotify and give it a listen, because it's well worth it. And what I found most interesting about our musical guest was he has not been doing this very long, and he's already working on his second album. And it's kind of hard to believe. And he's definitely got a gift, and hopefully he'll keep on playing and finding ways to transition from doing the daily 9 to 5 and doing full-time music, because he's definitely got the ability.
Definitely does. What he's from Portland, because we talked about that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's from the Northwest.
Yeah.
Some reason I thought he was living somewhere other than Florida. I don't think he mentioned Florida very much.
Why do you keep saying Florida?
Well, that's the address he sent. What am I supposed to say? Florida?
Florida? Oh, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Because you probably just looked on your phone and saw the address to the.
Yeah. I wanna see if John wants one too. I'd be happy to send him one. He did not. I'm sorry. I look like I should be a grandfather.
That was a little bit interesting.
He does not
John
look.
Kelly, yes. John Kelly is from Florida. That I did know. I thought we were talking about McKern because you were talking about him. Sorry, my bad.
But he doesn't look old.
He says he's got 3 grandbabies.
Yeah, I know.
That was crazy.
Oh.
Crazy. What else does the People's Patriot Project do? Well, we do asks veterans that have needs. I'm going to be a little bit transparent. We need a mountain of support in the asks that we're being asked, and we don't get to cover all the asks that we have. That's a truth. There was a minute that we never missed an ask, but this last year we ran into some. We've had to be picky, choosy on who and what we could help in some areas, and had to get into the why we needed to be supporting in some of those. Now, again, from the very beginning, I've always said, if we have it, we give it, period. Done. It's not, our veterans are in crisis when they call. We need to take care of them. So that is just one of the P's. We are also the regional coordinators for the Reads Across America event here in Minnesota, and we ask our other organizations that are in our space to be part of that as well. We are a conduit for support organizations across the country. We have WeP3 Radio that's out there that plays only veterans and first responder music because we think that's important to promote these men and women who have served. And then we do our podcasts too. And I hate to say it because I said we're anti this anymore, but we're not anti bringing awareness because we have to be that megaphone. We have to have that conversation. We have to be upfront. But everyone knows. Everyone knows. If you walk out into a crowd today and say, "What does 22 mean?" I mean, I have no data on this, but I'd be willing to bet the majority of people will say, "Oh, that's the number of veterans we lose a day." And that number is actually larger than 22. But we have averaged 6,000 veteran deaths a year since 9/11. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So these are all the things that we're doing. We got an amazing team of people. We need more volunteers to help accommodate some of the pieces that we need. Like, I would like to take my hands out of working on the radio all the time because I have other things to do. If you really like music and you want to connect with musicians from across the country, talented, amazing, super people, then reach out to us. We've got a space in place. More social media. We've got an amazing team working on social media pieces for the People's Patriot Project. We could only get better. And just everything that we do is to make life better for those who have served. Frank, I thought I heard a theme, and I think you said the number 2 song last night was your favorite. Is that the song you'd like to close on today?
Yeah, I would.
We don't know them all. Let me get this all loaded up, boarded up, and get it all put into play. And you got anything else you want to drop for the world to hear?
Not right now. I got some stuff working that I'll be pretty proud of if it happens, but it ain't there yet.
Can you see my certificate back there? See, it's right there.
Oh yeah.
It's not as cool as your certificate, but it's still there. We'll expound on that another time. This is the amazing. I'm losing my brain. Jeremy Wayne McKern with his hit song, We Don't Know Them All. We'll check you out when the smoke clears. Make sure you're checking your 6. Patriot Pride.
too. Her daddy served in the jungle. Somehow she knew she'd serve too. So she went down to the recruiter and she raised her right hand. Took the oath to service, stand up for our homeland. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. Put their lives in jeopardy when they took the call. They're the best of us, standing up for us, fighting for our freedom without prejudice. Bobby grew up in the city, way down in New Orleans. He saw the towers fall on TV, terror gripping every scene. The first to serve in his family, but he knew he had to fight so his kids could grow up happy and sleep safely every night. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. They put their lives in jeopardy when they took the call. They're the best of us, standing up for us, fighting for our freedom without prejudice. My daddy served in the Navy, overseas in Vietnam. So when I was old enough, I raised my right hand. So I salute the men and women who have served by my side. The flag still stands for freedom, we gotta keep it alive. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. They put their lives in jeopardy when they took the call. They're the best of us, standing up for us, fighting for our freedom without prejudice. God bless the families that give so much to see. The loved ones fighting far away for every day. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. We don't know them all, but we owe them all.